What a beautiful sight. And hard to believe, this is our front yard. This is what we see out the front, our front door there. Man, oh man. And another beautiful day. Yesterday, not quite as nice.
No, it was a little colder, a little rainier.
Yeah, hence the hoodie. Although now that the sun's out and whatnot, well, not only are we getting great solar, but yeah, it's also pretty warm. I mean, this morning though, I would have kicked on the furnace. We need to vacuum that out. I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's just got to be dog fur. Although you would think the dog fur would have come in that way, and that's not. We're not seeing any dog fur in there somehow.
There's just dog fur everywhere. Like,
we'll figure it out.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Although I actually have a kind of a probably funny way of cleaning that. I have some ideas. You went through and did a lot of organizing, and I was a bystander, and I only, whatever. Want to show what a couple of the changes?
I optimized a little bit.
Optimized, yeah.
So we kind of had a lot of stuff everywhere, and like we had some books up here, not a lot of books, but some books.
Yeah,
so like
light.
I wanted to get the books out of here and kind of get everything kind of in one spot.
Yeah.
And so like camera gear up here, got our Polaroid camera printer.
It's like tech stuff, really.
Tech stuff like Wise cameras, stuff like that.
There's
it's all
our
up
router,
here. Yeah, our router's up here. Up here we have like all of our tapes. Like we have a lot of weird tapes. Some more tech stuff. That book I actually need to put down underneath.
That's a wonderful 40 Years a Nomad, Poems from the Road by Randy Vining. Wonderful book.
Yes.
Check it out.
So we got our UV boom. Like we found some of our other tech stuff. We've been wondering where it's at. Like located it. Up here, I put all of our sample escape stuff, and this is kind of where going to be our escape cozy living machine corner. Like all of the stuff will be in one spot, so we just have a good spot for it all.
Yeah.
Our little Cricut cutting machine is under here, so I moved that forward, kind of reorganized, and I got all the books under here, and the board games with the Cricut, so stuff we don't access quite as much, and then just made it easier to get the Cricut out. So I just did a lot of organizing over here.
And that's still electrical, and that's still a hot water
Right.
tank. And then, yeah, otherwise it's not really changed.
No, just optimizing our storage a little bit.
Yeah, this is organized chaos. We have oatmeal and crap in there that we're gonna get rid of because we don't eat that. Yeah, that's all right. We have been doing a lot better at not eating out and not having so much flour. Flour is not good for us. As we're finding out, I'm feeling better. Mm-hmm. You guys have asked, actually multiple of you guys have asked, where's our American flag? And you might recall in many of our rigs, on our Class C and our Class A, and actually our previous Ram, I don't know that many of you guys even knew about that, but you might have seen it maybe on Instagram, our old Instagram. We love flying the flag, and so we have the U.S. flag on the front, but it's not, it's all like, it's a monochrome, just black and gray. We finally have raised the flag. And, well, the stars are in the upper left this time. Turns out that's how it's supposed to be by those who are mostly viewing it. We would have gone crosswise, and that is still an option. But I like the idea that the flag can wave longwise. I love that idea.
We actually, in our Airstream, we had the little awnings that pulled out over the windows. And so we actually had the flag kind of roll up in this pattern on the back awning on the back window of our Airstream.
I love that, and people would look at it, and as they passed by, they would comment, and a couple folks took photos, and so, anyways, I think it's a good way to represent, our country, and I think that's awesome. So, we could go crosswise, but we do need it. It's a thinner. It's not the highest quality flag. We have like 2 or 3. I know we have at least one in the bus.
I think we've got a couple more in the bus.
But we could put them crosswise, but we'd have to, what do you call those? We'd stamp them. Grommets. We need to stamp in some grommets. Yeah. So anyways, it's good for now. We can always change it. It is a shame that we have to say goodbye to this beautiful place. You get up to 14 days here, and we have stayed 3 nights, right? 3 nights. It was only 2 nights.
It was only 2 nights.
Felt like 3. But alas, we are going to leave. And yeah, our batteries are topped up. A couple folks have asked, and yes, I'll let you know, we are running our fridge on electric right now instead of propane, because why waste propane?
Right. And I am very happy that we did pull the big comforter out, even though Joel said he wasn't
so cold last night.
Yeah, he said he wasn't ready for me to pull it out, and I did it anyways because I just had a feeling, and I was right. It was 34 degrees when we woke up this morning.
Yeah, it was cold. You just stay in it. You just leave the window. You crack the shades, and off we go. Today we are actually going to head back north, then east, and we're going to enter Yellowstone from we've never been down this road.
No, we're actually going to enter Yellowstone from the north end, which is just a quick change that we just made today. We were going to go in through the west side of Yellowstone.
Which we typically enter or leave through, yeah.
But some of these cool things that I really am wanting to see in Yellowstone, it actually makes more sense for us to go in the north end and kind of zigzag down versus go in the west, go up, and then kind of come back.
It is a few more miles that I don't know that we'll get there today, but that's totally fine. So our 40-mile-a-day thing, when you stay in one place, you kind of compensate for that.
Yeah. So we're actually going to head towards Bozeman first. And we actually were trying to avoid Bozeman to start, but we're going to head to Bozeman. And that's going to be our first stop.
Yep. Let's hit the road. We're swinging through Bozeman, and we're definitely going to keep on going. This does not look like Montana.
No, it really doesn't, and it's
sad.
And there's signs all over that say no overnight parking and things like that. You see homeless folks all over the place, kind of.
They're like it's a lot more aggressive. It feels like Washington, Oregon, and California here, but they're decent. Like, I generally smile at folks that are panhandling on the side of the road, but try not to interact with them. And they, dudes started screaming at us, and that was nuts. And then there's just people walking in the middle of the street here. It's not okay. Oh, what are you doing, lady?
Well, and we were looking on iOverlander for some place to stay, and I clicked on one spot. It was like a softball field kind of out here, and one of the comments on it was that he parked and then he talked to a police officer who came through and said that there was a citywide ordinance in Bozeman that there was no overnight parking for RVs on city streets and stuff like that.
Which, based on what we're saying, that's not stopping folks. And,
right.
And even though they have signs at Walmart and whatever, but it's targeting the symptom of broken down,
Well, but it also, the officer told him, according to the comment, that you're probably going to be fine. I'm not going to kick you out of here. It's more for the homeless encampments than it is for travelers passing through.
Right, and they don't see the thing that kind of frustrates me, and I get why. They could craft legislation that states if XYZ criteria are met, then therefore you need to move it along, right? And if you're not moving it along, then we're cite and whatever. We need to find a solution. To me, it's infuriating though. I don't know, because it is targeting the simple, and these areas just don't feel very good to hang out. And
Even
I wish
if it was a 24-hour parking rule,
or 72,
right,
72-hour rule.
Every 24 hours you gotta move. Every 72 hours you gotta move.
But then even where they do have those rules, they don't enforce them.
Right.
And people don't abide by that. Even in Seattle, we saw folks that are just hunkered down in the middle of city parks with RVs and boats and. People need somewhere to go. 100% understand that. The city parks, that's not where it's at,
Yeah.
So, but I get it. But it is. This is one of those things that I think that they're trying to, and everybody's got their own opinions on this. I'm just speaking from experience and a lot of experience that they're trying to solve the symptom of an issue.
Not the root.
It doesn't get the root cause, yeah. And so, clearly, Bozeman has been hit a lot harder. We saw a little bit of, some addiction symptoms, let's say, in Butte, and we're seeing that 100-fold here.
Yeah,
at least.
It's way worse here, yeah.
So, anywho, I just thought that was a shame.
And it's a shame too, because when you go and you see you drive through there's a bunch of neighborhoods of nice houses, and it seems like it could be a nice community to be part of, except for things outside of your direct neighborhood.
You don't want to leave your doors unlocked, you don't want to leave your windows down, you don't want to leave anything out.
Right.
I'm even looking at our bikes and but and you get that in a lot of cities, but especially here. I will say though, a lot of these communities, There's a lot of brand new houses or pretty new houses, and a lot of HOA communities.
Yeah.
Not something I would have expected out of the stereotype, let's say, of Montana.
Yeah.
Butte followed that, that stereotype of freedom and independence, and I don't think we saw much in the way HOAs, if anything at all,
Well, and I know that there's like Montana State University is here, so there's like it's a college town and stuff like that too. So I don't know.
No, I don't know. When it comes to that nonsense, I don't. Don't give me more government. You know what I mean? Especially like, I don't think anybody's ever said a nice thing about an HOA.
Probably not.
That's a stereotype for a reason. I'm sure there's one part. I love my HOA. I don't have to.
My dad doesn't mind his HOA.
I know, right? And well, up to a point. Yeah, he does like that. He's got a communal pool, and or at least this was, and he doesn't. The community area is kind of nice,
Yeah.
but he also kind of ran into some nonsense with that, and he was like, yeah, I'm with you. Speaking of RVs, there's one right
over there.
Right over there. So yeah, it's not stopping, folks. Just criminalizes. You guys get it. Man, shout out to Shauna at Harbor Freight here. Wow, she was so great, so kind. And we had a wonderful conversation. I started asking her about the culture and what's going on in this little town, and she gave us a lot of information. She spoke just like me. A lot of information, short period of time, right? Shauna was great.
Yeah, one thing if you don't know about Joel is that he will talk to anybody as long as they'll let him.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to pick your brain. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Ordinance 2172 out here in Bozeman outlines everything that has changed around living in an RV or a camper, and they very, very much specify everything. To my surprise, I actually found it to be a rather reasonable ordinance.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. I want to go forward, but oh man, look at those guys go! Look at that! Wow. Guess I've never seen anybody hang any line like that. That's interesting. But essentially, what's in that ordinance is that you can request a permit, which I think is interesting. And so the permit will allow you to stay in an area, but I believe there's like a whole application. There's a $25 fee with that application, which I kind of found to be interesting. I'm sure there's a waiver for it if you needed it.
And permits are only valid until November 1st. But she said she didn't know exactly like what it was necessarily, but she was like, you'll notice that you'll see RVs parked places and they have little black stickers in the window, and that means that they have the permit.
Right, and so they will not issue any more after October 1st. And the reason for it is snow. Yeah. That makes good sense. They need to be able to clear the roadways. But the ordinance outlines a lot of very common sense things. Like, for example, where you can park. You cannot park directly, within X amount of distance from a school or preschool or something to that effect. You cannot park super close to the corner of a roadway, like in the intersection. And you cannot be within 50 feet of a stream or a body of water. But also, you are not allowed to, and this is why the permits exist, you're not allowed to just be dumping trash. You can't just dump trash, and you cannot dump your sewage. But the beauty of it is that it's sort of, for those that follow the rules, the common sense, it is fine, no problem. Really, things don't change. Again, there's that fee, but that's just one of those things. If you don't follow the rules, though, they know who you are. You have a permit number, and if there's trash built up, things that you're not actively using and you're not storing in your rig, they have a mode of recourse, which is really quite common sense to me.
Right. So if you're not following directions or you're not following the parameters of the permit, they can fine you up to $500 per infraction, and you could spend up to 10 days in jail, depending on
It's a misdemeanor, yeah.
Yeah, depending on the level of severity of violation.
Right, and it's worded very deliberately, pretty clear to me, what they were looking for. So I thought that was kind of interesting. However, I also noticed that there's not a lot of RVs here. I mean, there's still a bunch of us here at Walmart. But there's, I don't know. I think it makes good sense. They need to be able to clean the streets. And then they explicitly outlined the history. So what the Supreme Court had ruled unconstitutional, and then actually reversed in 2024, the Grants Pass decision, they actually outlined all that. It was actually pretty well written, in my opinion. And as I read it to you, we thought it was,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good happy medium. I wish there wasn't a fine or like a fee associated with getting the permit, but that does make sense to have the permit system so that they can kind of keep track of how many people are in the city and like where they're at and like are they okay, like I don't know, it makes sense as like a happy medium. Like, we know you're here, we're letting you do it, and we kind of just
right. Well, and the idea, of course, is to protect people, because taking people's homes away from them makes no sense. People have to live, but it also is that there is a right of the government to be able to control the passageways, the streets and sidewalks and things like that. It makes good sense. So I obviously take great concern, especially I'm sure a lot of people take great concern with the idea of the government, having to register as a homeless person, right? Like, I don't know anybody that would appreciate that fact. But yeah, again, I think it's a happy medium. I will say, I think it was Shauna who we were talking to. I'm like, yeah, this feels like Portland and Seattle. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like,
they call it Bose Angeles.
Bose Angeles, yeah. And it is fascinating because it is extraordinarily expensive to live out here. And it's actually probably more expensive than Seattle. I think she said she's paying over $3,000
for a 2-bedroom. Yeah.
For a freaking 2-bedroom. What?
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And I was like, so I asked her, I was like, so wait, you're paying like $700,000-$900,000 for like a 3-bedroom house? She's like, yeah, easily. What? So again, I respect this idea, and I've always been a proponent of like, look, everybody needs somewhere to go, and it's not right to take somebody's home away from them.
Yeah.
But you can also, as everybody must, you can impose reasonable restrictions. I think this is a good middle ground, and that rolling 30-day deal, I don't know that I love that, but I also, I understand it. And law enforcement out here, as she was saying, it seems very reasonable. They're very reasonable people out here.
Yeah, it's interesting. She also said that the people who live in Bozeman, she doesn't know that they even work in Bozeman. Like, she's like, I've never like heard of it. Like, none of these people actually like work here. They all do like remote things or something. Like, I don't know how they like, one, can afford to live here, and two, like what they do to afford it, because they aren't working at Harbor Freight with me. They aren't working down the street at Walmart.
She also said that like most people here did not grow up here.
Right.
So that's fascinating.
She said what used to be a 5-minute drive takes her 20 now because of traffic.
In just 2 years.
Yeah.
Because of the explosion. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
That is. So anyways, take from that what you will. It's not the Montana. It's just not the Montana that we have seen and loved so far, but...
If you're wondering why you keep seeing Colt sit like this, it's because he can feel the air conditioning blowing back straight on him. So he likes it right there.
He's a smart boy. Very smart boy. We just did the loop here at Pine Creek Campground, still in Montana. Boy, a little bumpy through here. And it is $26 a night. Come on now. $26 a night for no hookups, but like pretty cramped spaces.
Like we would have to unhook the truck and the trailer to stay here, except for one spot maybe.
Yeah, and that was probably a group site.
Probably.
Which I think is even more. So, $26 and as a matter of fact, it closes down in like 5 more days.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it. Like the spots that we have been hitting consistently for free, way less people, way more space.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple folks in here, you know. I'm really surprised they charge for this.
Yeah.
And no services, like no facilities or...
They do have water spigots, but just like fill up a water jug, but not like a...
threaded
spigot.
But there is a spot right here somewhere that we may be able to, like basically a trailhead that has plenty of room.
That's a church camp.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, it's pretty. So the weather has significantly dropped. It's 54 degrees now, and it's only going to get colder tonight.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah, a lot of these cattle. Oh, jeez. I don't know that we can make this turn, but if we could, that's pretty bumpy. Well, now there's a car coming, so that's not as much fun, but that little Corolla can make it, but I just don't think we can make this turn right here. Yeah, that's a little steep. It looks like other folks have had some trouble as well here, so maybe we'll go ahead and head back down the road and go back to the river there. I don't know. It's like, oh, a bunch of folks out here. Yeah, there was like 5-6 miles down this road, maybe 4 or 5 miles.
Yeah.
Oh well.
There is a boat launch area at the very bottom of the hill. We probably can stay up for the night and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Typically, I like to get up early and I like to get moving. You know, first thing in the morning, I'm always motivated. And we got a later start. Couple meetings and things like that. Always fun, but that meant that we got a pretty late start. You know, I don't like sun going down so much sooner. I don't like getting it's 6:21 right now. We maybe have 30 minutes of light left.
Yeah.
I don't care for it. Just because now we're looking for a spot in the dark, which sometimes is just fine, but other times is, you know, and if we find a nice spot, given that we like to move about every day, you don't get to enjoy the spot.
Right.
You know, if we get up early enough. But surprisingly out here, we still have 1 bar of 5G. So we're a little ways out here, but it is pretty. Also, we're going to have to talk about the flag. I think I mentioned that it's a trial and error sort of thing, and yeah, we're hitting the error part. Well, I don't know if we're gonna stay here tonight, but I do know we're gonna end this video now because it's getting long.
Yep.
Long, just to show you this. This is a strange phenomena here. And then you gotta wonder, what is this? Yep, I am surprised at that because it can't spin. It's not spinning. Yeah, that's probably not going to cut it, but I think what we will do instead is either on this side or the driver's side, probably the driver's side at first. We'll see how that works and then maybe we can switch it over. See, these zip ties that we have are actually reused from one of the e-bikes we had received for a review. And you can easily take these zip ties and you can use your fingernail or like a little, end of a knife or something like that. And you can just pull the little prong and push the zip tie plastic through. So basically, because there's just a little, what do you call that? A little tab, let's say.
Tab, and you push and you pull the long part back through.
Yeah. And so, yeah, no loss here, but I think we'll probably stick it here. I don't know that it's that long though.
My idea was to
Up here maybe.
take it the other way, and then it kind of covers the whole back of the trailer, or the back of the truck.
But if we did that right now, it would just shred that poor.
Yeah, we have to put holes in the other end of it to be able to do
Big
that.
grommets, yeah.
So.
Anywho, it was well, and I also wonder if we did that, wouldn't it just wrap around itself again? But anywho, yeah, we'll see about that. It is good to have a flag on our truck again, though. Yeah. Anywho, thank you guys for watching. We have some exciting stuff coming up. Exciting stuff. So we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.